I have to say, after this whole pandemic thing, I am so happy to be stuck in traffic. I am so happy there's traffic again. Look, there's actually some traffic, and it's still not what it used to be, but let's see if you can see the traffic. It's still not what it used to be. I'm just glad there is some. I actually am so grateful to be waiting at a light behind 10 cars. Actually, this is probably about 15 cars.
No, it's like 150.
No, you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
See, we're in traffic. That means the world is coming back to normal. We're actually stuck in traffic. I mean, like, really, be grateful for that. Because before it was like the end of the world, like the day that everything was shut down, like the next day when we were driving, there was like nobody. It was like, gosh, is there anybody left in the world anymore? Is there anybody still here? I mean, we were the only ones on an entire highway, and now you can see that this world is inhabited again, and that people are actually moving around again. So all that time when we used to complain about being in the traffic, right? All that time, I know I complained about being in the traffic. Did you? All that time we complained in the traffic. Now we can say, I'm so glad to be sitting in the traffic again instead of like the whole lockdown and everybody losing their businesses and their livelihoods and their lives and everybody being so unhappy and lonely and sad and all by themselves and no parties or friends. And you know, we're still pretty limited. I mean, we still can only have groups of 25 or 10, 15. It keeps changing. But you know, and we're still not totally free or anything. But here in Ecuador, for the first time, I'm in Ecuador because we've been at Gaia Sagrada Retreat Center the whole time during the lockdown, instead of in the States at the time, in California where we're from. But and Gaia Sagrada was a good place to weather the lockdown because it was beautiful, 55 acres of nature. I felt very lucky to get stuck there. But we had we were only allowed to drive 1 day a week for probably 2 months, 3 months. And then finally we were allowed to drive 3 days a week, and 2 days a week, and then finally 3 days. I have Bruce is over here giving me cues here, like, no, it was 3 months that we had to drive 1 day a week. It was really rough because it was hard to get, and nothing was open for any length of time. Everything was like only open for an hour or two, and nope, I have to go around the circle again because there is so much traffic. Bruce couldn't go straight. But so here I am in a moment saying I am so grateful to be stuck in traffic, because that means that we're finally allowed to drive every day. Finally. We weren't allowed to drive every day for, gosh, what are we in, the 6 months now? Let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months we were not allowed to drive more than 1 day or 2 days or maybe 3 days a week for 7 months. And finally now everybody's allowed to drive whatever day they want. There's still a lot of restrictions, and masks are required and all that, and groups are limited, and there's still a lot of limitations. But everybody's allowed to drive every day now, which is a big deal. For anybody who wasn't restricted on what days they could drive, they don't realize what a big deal that is and how difficult it is to manage your life when you can only drive 1 or 2 days a week. So,
No,
yeah,
regalo.
Buena suerte. Yeah, we just give people some money at these lights because everybody's in really big trouble. They're having a hard time making it, and so we always give $1 or so whenever we can. So we probably pass out maybe $15 a day whenever we come into the city, just to the people who are either begging at the lights or even just trying to sell some gum or whatever they can. because, and we don't even take the gum or whatever. We just say, hey, good luck. And, because, we feel fortunate we're not rich, but, we have everything we need, and that's better than a lot of people have. So, anyway, so be grateful that you're back in the traffic. Be grateful that you have to wait in line at the store now. Be grateful you gotta wait in line at the bank, and that something's even open. Just be happy now for things you used to gripe about. Be really happy now for having to wait, or being in traffic, or just think, oh gosh, during the pandemic, I would have loved to have been in traffic for a little while. I would have loved to have waited behind 10 people at the bank or in the supermarket, or I would have loved to have had a world that looked like it was populated again. So, enjoy the traffic. Enjoy the lines. It's a good sign that things are going back to, I don't know if we'll ever be exactly normal again, but different than a lockdown. All right, over and out. Peace out, 007 Secret of Love. Wait, peace out, 007 Secret Agent of Love.